Hi guys, my name is Selayah.
I'm Kamila Mendoza.
I'm Sherlyn.
And today we're going to be talking about testing on animals, and we are talking about against. So we are group 3, section 8 for animals and society class. We are recording this December 2nd of 2025.
Speaking Kamila Mendoza. History. History and animal testing go great together, going hand in hand, as history has been something humans have always used to track the past, present, and future. Animal testing has been around for the longest time ever, probably since humans have been around. The date origins of animal testing have been traced all the way back to ancient Greece, as Greek physician scientists experimented on animals for the purpose of advancing their knowledge about anatomy, physiology, pathology, and pharmacology. These Greek physicians would use animal testing to explore more knowledge and go into depth and really understand what humans really are and what is going on in the universe, as these humans in the ancient Greece time were really getting more curious and wanting to understand what our anatomy was and all of the different things in the depths of the anatomy. Well, the first real animal testing was done by Ibn Zor, a Arab physician in the 20th century. He would test on animals and do many different procedures on them and do surgeries on animals right before he would test on humans to make sure he had all of the knowledge available that he needed to do testing and different procedures and surgeries on humans to make sure that he was doing everything proper and had everything to his benefit.
Speaking Sherlyn. Ethical aspects. Ethical concerns surrounding animal testing. These concerns go back to the 1800s when critics first began questioning whether it was moral to use animals in experiments. Because of this, laws like the 1876 UK Cruelty to Animals Act were created to give animals some level of protection. As the animal rights movement grew in the 20th century, activities pushed for art that would reduce and replace animal use in testing. Many people argue that animals experience fear, distress, and psychological suffering just like humans. They also argue that animal testing can lack reliability results and treat animals as if they are less valuable than humans.
Speaking on cultural importance, hi, my name is Selayah. With cultural importance, it's seen pretty much all over the world, especially in our modern cultures. In our modern cultures, you see a high value that is being placed on empathy, compassion, and animal welfare. Empathy for the animals. You have compassion for the way we're making them feel. Animal welfare is how we're treating them. With the killing and the injuring, it conflicts with our cultural norms of kindness. We are taught to be nice to others, to treat others the way you want to be treated. And here we are hurting and injuring other animals in order to test many various products. this has caused many cultural movements. And with these cultural movements, it's trying to get people to go more towards cruelty-free products and cruelty-free science to make things better. And they're trying to prove that animals feel pain and anxiety, especially because household pets, they have this unique bond with their owner where they're seen as family members, they're seen as just more than a companion, they're more than a pet. And that they have so many emotions as well. Even sociology, people are also skeptical of animal testing because, frankly, the results don't completely match reality. Sometimes they test on an animal and it is saying that, oh yeah, it's safe, but then when it gets tested on a human, there's a problem or two that has been brought to people's concerns, and this is because we're not exactly the same as many of the animals, such as bunnies or rats, even though there are a lot of similarities, as you have heard in our previous slideshow from our other group mates. The results don't match the reality, so it's just kind of seeing how it's going to go.
Speaking truly, current events related to animal testing in cosmetics. Recently, U.S. states have passed laws that stopped the sale of products tested on animals, showing a strong shift toward cruelty-free practices. Cruelty-free International also plays a big role. Their Leaping Bunny program is considered a golden standard for cruelty-free certification, and as of 2022, over 5,000 cosmetic companies are registered with them. This shows how many brands are moving away from animal testing. Public opinion supports this change too. A 2019 survey found that 79% of people support bans on animal experimentation, and a 2020 survey showed that 57% of consumers refuse to buy from brands that still test on animals.
Speaking Kamila Mendoza, against knowledge. Basic knowledge on animal testing is usually that animals are not given the basic rights like humans are. This is not fair, as animals should be given the right to live free from any unnecessary harm or anything causing them any discomfort, but unfortunately this is not the case. These animals are forced to endure painful procedures such as forced infections, surgeries without full anesthesia, and isolation and confinement. These animals that are being tested on are treated like their lives are any less than any human life, but at the end of the day, it makes no sense because humans are identified as humans whenever we put our differences aside. So at the end of the day, what really makes the difference of animals and humans? Animals are not given consent to any of these testings and are not able to agree or even understand what's going on and what they're being experimented on. These animals do not have the voice like humans do to say no and reject any type of testing on them, which can cause them severe suffering and a lot of different disabilities, such as internal and external injuries and disabilities and death. But unfortunately, this is not even considered abuse through many of the laws, as there are many legal loopholes which should be fixed, because it is not fair that these animals should be going through such painful procedures in difficult time.
as you can see by these photos, looking at the photo on the left, my name is Selayah Duarte, sorry. But looking at the photo on the left, you can see that these bunnies are kept in cages. And being kept in cages, it's very tight, and they don't really have a lot of wiggle room. They're kind of cramped, and it's not really freeing. They are most likely feeling lots and lots of stress, and they don't feel like they can be free, and it can create a lot of problems. Many of these animals are kept in cages just like those right here. Even looking on the picture on the right, you can clearly see that the bunny has been shaved on its back. There are 8 dots, and on those 8 black dots are holes where the bunny is going to be poked with a needle. Being poked with a needle, it's nothing like minor. It is a very major thing, especially being poked many times, as many of these animals are not under anesthesia. Many of these animals don't have any painkillers or anything. They're just taking the pain and the needles straight on, head forth, just keeping their head up. Unlike many people misconception that believe animal testing is done through putting a little bit of blush on the animal or putting mascara on the animal's fur to test how toxic the chemicals are, the reaction to it. Instead, what it actually happens, the sad reality, is they put the chemicals and inject it in their eyes in large amount of doses to see how toxic is the dose, how much can someone really use. And again, the animals don't know any better, and they're kept in these cages in poor conditions for their animal well-being, for the human well-being. This is why together as a group, my group and I have all collectively agreed that we are for animal testing. Even though there is so many negatives about animal testing, it has so many positives that outweigh the negatives. For starters, there is a lot of groundbreaking findings in medicine because of animal testing, such as our vaccines and our transplants. We would never have so many of the vaccines we do today, even like our flu vaccine or our COVID vaccine, without animal testing, or even our transplants using pig organs to help give people a better life. And a lot of this, although it does seem like unlawful, we believe if it is being done, there needs to be laws in place in order for it not to be abusive, to keep them in check, because we are using these animals. These animals are able to reproduce very quickly like bunnies, and taking advantage of that, we cannot treat them as less than. We need to treat them equally because they are still a living being with a life, and it is not something we should take lightly. Not taking it lightly is a really big part, because it needs to be tested on something. It's very unlikely that we're going to be testing on humans, or we're going to have human volunteers. So because we need to test on something, it might as well be animals. These are our references that we have on this page as well as this page. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And Bye.